In this video I'm going to be telling you why I don't buy the newest, latest, greatest camera gear. Keep watching. Roll titles. Well, hi YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy, and what a week it's been. It's been a fantastic week. We've seen new lenses released, we've seen a new flagship camera for Lumix come out. Absolutely fantastic, and I really do think that it's been a fantastic week for the Micro Four Thirds format of cameras, because it's given us that boost that we needed. We needed to see that both of our main manufacturers, both OMDS with its OM-1 last year and OM-5, and also Lumix with the new G9 Mark II and the GH6 last year, we needed to be reassured as users, as consumers, that the format was being supported by our two main manufacturers, and I think they've proved that, and I'm over the moon with it. But obviously these are the flagship cameras, the OM-1 from OMDS and the G9 Mark II. They're the flagship cameras. These are the top of the range cameras, so they're going to be expensive. They're going to have some cost behind them. And when the release of these two new lenses, the Leica lenses, they're going to be have a cost implication too, but they are superb pieces of kit, all of them. So why am I not going to be buying them? That's a good question. It's the same question as to why I didn't buy an OM-1 last year, or an OM-5. It's the same reason that when the G9 originally came out, the Mark I, why I didn't buy one of them straight away. I'm cynical. I'm a real cynic, and I have a worry about the fact of getting embroiled into the hype and furore over a new product. Beginning of this week on Tuesday, we had the launch of the G9 Mark II. I did a video on it. I'll put a link on it. In fact, I did a few videos, but I'll put a link on the one that I did just before its launch, where I was saying about the specifications and I was saying about what it had on. It's fabulous. It really is fabulous. Would I like one? I would kill for one. I think they're unbelievably good. Phase detect autofocus after waiting all this time, 25 megapixel sensor, all sorts of really good things on it. You know, too much to mention. The video capabilities are fantastic. The still capabilities out of this world. Buffer storage, unbelievable. But I won't be buying one yet. So why is that? Well, as I say, I'm a cynic. I spent a lot of my life looking at product releases. When I first left school, my first full-time job was working in a shop selling hi-fi and TVs, high-end hi-fi and TVs, Bang & Olufsen, Quad, all sorts of the real professional range of the Technics stuff. We had all sorts, Harman Kardon, all sorts of things that we had in the shop which were really good. We had the top of the range of almost everything. And the problem is, at first you can get drawn into it. You see specifications, you see all these fantastic figures come out. This one will do that, this one will do that, over the one that was there before. But at the end of the day, when I was selling hi-fi, I was a real enthusiast, by the way, and still am. But I wanted to sit and listen to some excellent quality music. And it doesn't matter what the specification of something is, it doesn't matter what feature it has. If it takes you away from the core reason for you owning that product, then it's defeating the reasoning, really. And I found the same with photography. At the end of the day, photographers are wanting to take an image of something which appeals to them. Now, my GX8, which was brought out in 2016 I think, has a 20 megapixel sensor. My G9 has a 20 megapixel sensor. It's been firmware upgraded several times until just before this new one came out. It takes fabulous images. Actually, it doesn't. I take the images. The camera is my tool for taking the images. It doesn't take the fabulous images. I do. It just manages, it's the recording medium. It's the medium which allows my thoughts and my observations to be transposed onto a piece of data. In this case, it used to be a piece of film, but a piece of data which I can then manipulate, and I can copy, and I can send out for people to see, and I can spread the message which originated with what I originally saw. And that's been the break for me. Tuesday, before the official launch, when I did my video, I was so excited. I really was. I was reading down the specifications as I was making the video, thinking, this is unbelievable. This is fabulous. This is just what we want. And all the facilities on there were great. Now, be careful on what I'm going to say, because there are exceptions to any rule. Exceptions to any rule, and those exceptions do need specific attention. And what I mean by that is, I reckon probably 95 to 99% of photographers take what I class as normal photographs in the normal sort of zoom range, the standard zoom range. They put it up onto social media. They maybe do some manipulation. But very few of us are going out and doing long range shots of birds in flight. Long range shots of birds in flight where they may be coming straight on towards us with a highly varying focal distance. Very few of us are doing shots of sports, and I mean at a high level. So why do we need all those features? Now we do have people who do need those features, and that's why we have cameras like the G9 Mark II with its phase detect autofocus. But I was looking through some of my photos this week that I took on the G9. Wait for the car to go past. I'm in the middle of nowhere here. I'm up in the North Pennine Hills in Northumberland, and I'm still getting cars drive past. Doesn't matter. I look at the photographs, and I've been through an awful lot of photos I've taken on the G9, and I would say 99.9% of them I could have taken on lesser cameras just as effectively. I could have taken them on the GX8, I could have taken them on my OM-1 Mark I. A lot of them I could have taken on the old G1, and they would have came out just as effective, just as well. So why do I want to spend, in UK terms, £1,700 on a new camera body which has all these fantastic features which I don't use? The idea of shooting 60 frames a second is something I just don't do. Not only because I don't want the image, but I don't want the hassle of going through 60 frames for 1 second's worth of shooting to find the one shot that I do want. I want to have something which is going to do the job for me. Now, if I've got something which has got those whistles and bells on, then I can use it when I need to. And this is the difference as to why, me personally, I don't buy the newest flashiest kit. I can do most of my photography on a camera I've had for 10 years. That's quite a thing. It's only when you get to the point of the more esoteric shooting, somebody, as I say, who is doing the sport shooting, the nature shooting, somebody who's doing a lot of night photography to get the story autofocus, whatever it is on that, there are features in there which I'm really impressed with. And I would like the camera for. I said in my previous video about having the Leica monochrome mode. I think that's going to be fantastic, because I love the way that Leica monochromes come out of their cameras. I think there's just something so stylish. Having said that, I can do 99.999% of my editing to get it like that on Photoshop or in Lightroom. So it's not essential. Would I like the new camera? Of course I would. Am I going to buy one? No. Would I like the new lenses? Well, I'd love the 100 to 400 Mark II. I think it's going to be fabulous. I really think it's going to be a fabulous lens. But I used the 100 to 400 Mark I recently, and I was knocked out by it. And up until Tuesday last week, I thought it was wonderful. But now there's a new version, so the old one is instantly gone. It doesn't quite compute to me that when I look through the cynicism. I have an OM-1 Mark I Olympus. Came out in 2012, I think it was. Maybe 2013, can't remember exactly, but it's a long time ago. It's over 10 years. When it came out, it was a professional grade camera. It had professional facilities. I have an OM-1 Mark II, which is a big improvement on the OM-1 Mark I, which had professional facilities. It didn't stop the OM-1 Mark I from being a professional camera. It didn't stop it from doing almost every shot that I possibly needed, and doing it far better than my capabilities as a photographer. The OM-1 Mark II did them better. I actually bought my G9 before my OM-1 Mark II because it was a better deal money-wise. And that was great. But didn't produce me any better photographs than I'd been doing an OM-1 Mark I, except these were in 20 megapixel, which meant I could zoom in a little bit and keep the same sort of resolution. But you've got to zoom in an awful lot, even on a 16 megapixel sensor, to start losing any real resolution. Yes, better processors. Yes, better dynamic range because of those processors. But overall, on the vast majority of my shots, my camera isn't being pushed to the limit, even the older ones. Now, I really do appreciate the fact that people will enjoy using their cameras, and they do like the newest toy. I like the newest toy. I get really enthused by it. But it's taken me 62 years on this planet to realise that sometimes the newest isn't necessarily going to give you the biggest advantages. And even if somebody gave me a G9 Mark II now, the standard of my photographs wouldn't change. The standard of my photography skills wouldn't change. And so from that point of view, that's why I'm not going to be buying a G9 Mark II. That's why I still haven't bought an OM-1, as the OMD OM-1. And that's why I'll be waiting until the prices come down. And that's why I'll be enjoying my photography just as much on my old cameras. So what about you? Are you dashing out to buy the G9 Mark II? Don't get me wrong, if you want to do that, I'm over the moon for you. I am cock-a-hoop for you to be able to go out and do that. But for me, I'm going to stick with what I've got for now. I'm going to enjoy what I've got, and I'm going to keep on taking them out and keep on having fun with them, rather than waste my money on something new. Do we need those new things? Yeah, we do. We need them to keep the market afloat. We need them to keep the Micro Four Thirds format that I love so much there. They are essential. But it doesn't mean to say I'm going to dash out and buy one. And it also gives me the opportunity to see what I would like when they've settled down a bit, when the firmware revisions have sorted themselves out and we've got over those little quirks and foibles which any new product has, whether it be a car or a camera. It's all little quirks and foibles which need sorted. I noticed that the OM-1 is now on version 1.5 of its firmware after only a year. So there's obviously 5 revisions worth of things to fix. 5 revisions worth of things to get right, which weren't right in the first place. Let me know what you think. Tell me in the comments below. I'm really pleased to see what those comments are. Thank you for all the comments that I got on the previous videos as well. They really have been interesting. Some were a little bit disparaging, some were very encouraging. Not necessarily disparaging about me, but disparaging about the camera system and the state of play at the moment. But other ones very encouraging about the state of play at the moment. The other thing is as well, these wonderful people who I keep on mentioning every time are absolute superstars, because they are my patrons of my Patreon channel, and they're the ones who help keep this channel going, as well as the people who do for a little cup of coffee, something towards my PayPal link, or hitting the super thanks below. You're all wonderful people, because without you the channel can't survive. So anyway, until the next time, this is Brian James, that Micro Four Thirds guy, shooting on his G100, about to go off and do some photographs on his G9 Mark I and have some fun. See you.